I'm in there, but I'm not showing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. I am your host, Kareem Bowen. So glad to be with you on here on today. If we're experiencing technical difficulties, could you please allow us to know so, because we are in here trying to do our best. As you know, my regular producer, Matt, is not in the studio with us. And those of you who are here would realize that because when he's not here, we have all kinds of issues. I'm certainly grateful for those who are out there who are populating in the stream. We want you to like, tag, and share this conversation with other folks who are in your purview, those people who are around you. So we're glad to be with you today. Good evening, good evening, good evening to all of you that are out there. And I'm excited to get into our conversation for today. There is a lot going on around us in this current moment. But there we are. There we are. We are getting things together as we go. We are getting things around as we go. So we're trying to make sure that we are giving you what you desire. All right. Which is a good show. So we certainly thank you for everything that's going on. And for those of you who are coming in, we want you, as I said once before, to like, tag, and share this conversation with those around you. Thank you very much, Yvonne Daniels. I can now hear in one of my ears, so I guess that's better than nothing. Whenever Yvonne and I are together on one, it is always a crazy ride. So we're certainly thanking you guys for sharing this with us. Well, you know how we like to begin. We like to begin by talking about what's on my mind. And so today what I want to talk about is making sure that the village is fed. And what I mean by that is that on this past weekend, on November 1st, we saw a cessation of benefits for those who receive governmental supplemental nourishment benefits. We refer to them as SNAP. And we found out that those benefits a few weeks ago were possibly in threat. We now know that it is in full stage. It is underway. And it's crazy that here in the United States, we've got hundreds of millions and billions of dollars to send to other nations. And this was administration that said it would be about America first. And now we have Americans, those who voted for this very administration, now in a place that they're trying to figure out where their next meal is going to come from. This is probably the least American of all American things that we've ever had to deal with. But hey, what we're going to do is we're always going to come in and we take care of ourselves, just like we were in 9/11, just like we were during COVID. Americans are best when we take care of one another. So I'm excited about the opportunity for the village to come together. I hate that we have to do it in this way. But what we're going to do is make sure that we are taking care of our taking care
So
of
SNAP
our
benefits
own.
may have been snapped by the federal
SNAP benefits
government.
may have
but
been
there
snapped by the
is
federal government.
a
but there
community
is
collective
a community collective that is
working under the night, the cover of night and in fervor. And I said collective, meaning that we are doing this together. It's not an individual, but it is a collective.
We've had pastors all over the city on today that have made appeals. Yes, Donna, I hear you. There is an echo. There's an echo even in my ears. So echoes keep ringing in my soul. We have to deal with those as we can. We're trying to make adjustments, and we will do so as we can. So we're still working on that. But on today, all over the city of Saginaw, there were pastors from the sacred pulpits, the platforms, making requests on behalf of those who are, it's better. Thank you very much, Cheryl, for sharing that with us. I certainly appreciate it. From the resolute desk of the podiums and platforms across the city have been making an appeal that churches and parishioners would please donate. And so today, starting out, I want to give you some additional information, and I want you all to be checking back in to kisswtlz.com, as we will be providing information here, as well as Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen, our social media pages. We'll put it everywhere we can. We're going to make sure churches have this information. But what we're trying to do is to make sure that we work as a collective. So there are all kinds of churches. I got a text message. They said, hey, we got the donation going today at Mount Olive. Someone else said, hey, we heard the donation request go out to Victorious Believers. I know they did it at the Potter's Church Ministries. Dr. Byron Hayes over at Word of Faith International Ministries had inquired so that he could do it. And what I love is that we have our entire community coming together to solve an issue that is very important. Now, what that means is that as this continues, and I, we were not really sure after the federal judge say, hey, we're going to force them to pay out of these emergency funds, which I need everybody to understand that has always been an issue. As a matter of fact, in the legislation that was written, if there was an issue, for whatever reason, that there were for the government being shut down and other issues, there were emergency funds that have always been available that were supposed to be used for this specific reason. But this administration has shown us time and time again that the opinions, voices, thoughts, and the needs of billionaires are much more important than those of the working everyday poor. There's a term that we refer to often, our ALICE population, which I believe asset limited income, income constrained. And that meant basically they're working poor. And these are individuals that actually are working. They're not looking for a handout, but they need some support. And these individuals are really, it's sad that in America that we have this current situation, one of the greatest nations in the world with one of the worst healthcare systems in the world. But we're going to continue to get into this conversation. What I need you all to know, and I want you to share what we're getting ready to put up right now. We're going to put this information in the stream at the end of the show, and you can come back here for it. We're also going to provide it for kisswtlz.com and other sources as we possibly can. So this is basically, we put together a number of things. I'm just going to share some of the information that's here because this is D-Day. It's important for us to strategize and know what's going on in the community and where we can get resources that are necessary. And so these efforts have been done because of the SNAP benefit loss. And when I tell you that this has been a response, it's not just pastors. We've had the Saginaw Community Foundation, United Way, all of the major entities that exist countywide. And then we've had those local organizations, the NABE, First Ward, and Victorious Believers Ministries, CAC, all of those other churches and organizations, Bishop Campbell, who has been operating this space for a very long time. And so I'm going to just read off for you very quickly. We will post those meeting minutes so that you can be aware of what's going on. But they have put together a list, and this list will include those donation sites. We will also include and upload the ways that you can give. And so we want to make sure that all of these things are out there, right? So that our community can support. And so what we're looking to do is we're getting lists of individuals who were receiving SNAP benefits, because y'all know how y'all cousins can do. They may have never received the SNAP benefits, but when they say that it's free, the line will be down the street and around the corner with people who have food in their refrigerators and take this food and put it in their freezers. It's a shame that it's that way. But that is what it is. And we want to make sure that those who are most vulnerable are getting the support that they need. So on the southeast side of Saginaw, we have the NABE as a drop-off point. So we are collecting funds, and I'll give you that information shortly. After our first commercial break, I'm going to come back and I'll share that information for if you are interested in donating funds. But we are also creating collection sites for those places where we can get those staple goods. If we have, and these locations, understand this, these locations during our time of meeting this week have said that they are able to take both cold staple goods and things that need to be refrigerated is what I was trying to say, not cold, but refrigerated goods as well as staple goods. And they're creating places because they have the capacity and the support to serve our community. So on the southeast side of Saginaw, we have the NABE as a drop-off point. Monday through Thursday, that's 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And they do distribution every third Thursday from 3 to 5:30 p.m. And also in the southeast side, we have New Mount Calvary, Bethlehem Baptist Church, New Christ Community, South Side Neighborhood Group, Paradise Funeral Chapel, and Solid Rock Church, all a part of this collective. On the north side of Saginaw, which is Mount Olive Church as the drop-off point, Tuesday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then the churches in that north side, or the organizations, I should say, are the Potter's Church Ministries, Christ Fellowship Church, Word of Faith Internationals, NAACP, St. John's Catholic Church, and I think Mount Sinai Church. So those churches are all working, those organizations working together. The drop-off point is Mount Olive, Tuesdays through Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Some people might say, hey, I came in for the latest conversation. This is the latest conversation, in case you have not known. Our community and is very vulnerable. We are already in a food desert, and what we're looking at could very well be catastrophic if these things are not managed appropriately. Also, so now we have on the north side, we got Bethel AME also. This is kind of the northeast side. Bethel AME is the church for the drop-off point. Those churches are partnering in that area: Tabernacle Baptist Church, Daniel's Den Ministries, Prince of Peace Baptist Church, and From the Heart Ministries. We're moving to the east side. We have Houghton Jones as the drop-off point there. Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Those are the times that you're able to drop off items. The organizations and churches in that area are New Life Church, True Vine, Corinthian Baptist Church, Mount Moriah Church, New Hope Baptist Church, St. Paul Baptist Church, and 9th Street Community Church are all supporting that particular area. I'm telling you the names of these churches and these organizations because if you do not hear your church, I need you to send an email, direct message, or just make sure that you are aware of what's going on. When you see the post, it will have both information. You can send the email to me. My email is elite, ELITEKB, the number 23 at Gmail, elitekb23 at Gmail. K as in Kareem, B as in boy, the number 23 at Gmail. If you do not hear your organization or church and you are in one of these areas, please make sure we're aware so that we can make sure that the entire village is a part of this move. So also, once again, Buena Vista in BV, we have Victorious Believers Ministries as a drop-off point. That is Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Their next distribution there will be on November 25th. So that is the BV Community Center, New Covenant Christian Center down the road, the BV Police Department, BV Fire Department, TSO, and Baldwin's. Those are all of the individuals and entities working together. And then we have a West Side / Township location, which is World Outreach Campus, the drop-off point right there off of Bay Road, or Bay Street, I think it is at that point. That's Monday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And they do a distribution every first and third Wednesdays. If you need this information, you can always come back and watch this again. Please share this information, tag individuals that you know may need support, and understand it was not just the SNAP benefits, but it's also the other supplemental twin of that, which is WIC, which is Women and Infant Children, the supplies, the formulas, things that are needed for there. We have been in contact as well with Can Council, who has diapers and I believe formula is another thing that they're also supporting with. So we want to make sure that we're doing what's necessary. We've been meeting Tina Swanton, Renee Johnston from the Saginaw Community Foundation. We've been having these conversations about how we can provide support for our community, the United Way, dear friend over there. They're all meeting. There's a meeting tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you are interested, please send a message. We're going to post where those organizations, groups, churches, or whatever can get involved with this. This is really about the village, the community, taking care of the community. There is a collective that is doing work for the entire county-wide, and then this move is really targeted. It appears more so for those individuals who are part of that city, more centralized work that's taking place. So also the Fairgrounds neighborhood, the place is going to be the Movement Church. Many of you may know it, formed more so by Roy Baldwin. Deliverance Church. New Beginnings Deliverance Ministries. The Movement Church is now in that place. And the organizations that are working in that area are Greeks R Us, Brother Arthur's, Salon 2000, Tatum Barbershop, New Beginnings Church, Pastor Hodge Church, United Baptist Church, Fairgrounds Neighborhood Association, and Saginaw Middle School. All of them, that donation site is going to be at the Movement Church, formerly New Beginnings Deliverance Ministry, Pastor Baldwin's location. Then there is New Birth Cathedral as the drop-off point, and this is taking us over toward the south end side of town with Messiah Baptist Church and New Friendship Baptist Church as churches that are a part of that collective. And then downtown, we have a drop-off point. I want to thank our friends over at SVRC. They said, hey, we want to be involved with what's going on. So SVRC is a drop-off point, and those individuals or that are part of that group of collective organizations and churches are Zion Church, Gideon Christ Community Church, Saginaw Fire Department, Saginaw Police Department, Dow Event Center, Odyssey House, Stars, and Success Academy. And so we are extremely excited about being able to come together. I know I'm glad when we see our community come together like this. This is when real changes can happen. And I want to just encourage all of those who are out there. If you need this information, once again, it will be posted on KISS WTLZ. It will also be available at Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen and everybody else. So we want to make sure that we are doing what we can. So there is a way for you to give. If, hey, canned goods, dry staple goods, milk, if that's not your thing, and you'd prefer to write a check or send a Cash App or Zelle, because I think Zelle is the preferred organization. I want to thank the Saginaw African Cultural Festival, the longest running African Cultural Festival in the world, for stepping up as the fiduciary for this. We wanted to make sure that we were doing right by folks' money, that accountability was a central factor, and that we were making sure that we could use every dollar for the benefit of this cause. So it's crazy that we are in this situation, but the village is going to take care of it ourselves. Since the beginning of the show in 2018, we were talking about what do we do if the village is on fire, and how do we rebuild the village walls? And this is exactly the way that we do it. We do it one step at a time, one brick at a time, each individual coming together as a collective. This is not a time, and I'll say this, there are a lot of people and a lot of things and a lot of efforts and people saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And I said, why don't we come together and we act like a village, unified, surrounding those who are most vulnerable, making sure that we do not miss a single beat with anyone. And so we're going to work collectively together. And I want to thank all of those pastors, those organizations, those churches, all of the leaders who were involved in these conversations. I want to thank them for being so great, to the folks over at Saginaw Cap, Jeffrey Bulls for really stepping in. Everyone came together to make this happen. And so we are going to begin moving forward this coming week. There were conversations. I know that our organization was looking to do a food distribution, but we said, you know what? We're going to put that individual distribution that we're going to partner with the neighborhood association over at Houghton Jones. We're going to bring that food and make it a part of the move for this collective so that we can be a part. It is about coming together, not doing this. We do not need new pantries and new distribution sites popping up for this purpose. We need folks who do the work to be at the front of this work. And so I am here just as a community organizer, one who is bringing people together. I am not the leader of this movement. This is not a lane that I'm in, but I want to support. And hopefully all of us are understanding that we have a role to play. So let's play our role. This is not a place that I'm in, but as a voice in the community, as being able to make those connections, I'm doing my part. I certainly want to thank those who operate in the space, who are working with the Southeastern Food Bank of Michigan. If you are out there, I'll tell you one of the things that we needed before we go to commercial break. We are able to get the food. The food is available, as we have heard from the Southeastern Food Bank of Michigan. However, we need individuals. So if we have trucks and transportation drivers of those trucks, particularly you need a big truck. So normally this food comes in on a semi truck and it's removed with trucks off of a pallet. Then we move those things around. If you have trucks, if you know people who have trucks, if we have those trucks, we can make continual trips back and forth to get that food from Flint. It's on the southeast side of town. The southeast side of the state. We can get it off those trucks into our communities, into those donation sites, so that we can continually have food. Should this go through December and January or whatever that situation, we have to be prepared for the worst of all things. And this is also a way for us to continue to work together. Miss Diane down at the East Side Soup Kitchen, who is serving nearly 900 meals a day. That's Monday through Friday. She has seen that number go up from 800 and something to 900 and something. The need for food and sustainable nutrition is a real issue in Saginaw. This SNAP benefit can be absolutely devastating. So Saginaw, we need you to come in, get involved. I'm going to put up those the ways that you can donate dollars and cents when we come back from this, the information on where you can go to drop off canned goods and staple goods and refrigerated goods. We'll give you as we just outlined. So it's in the stream. So come back and watch it again so you can see which side of town and when those things are being done. And we are going to make the best of a bad situation. I love it when a village comes together. Hey, we are going to be better when we work together. They said it takes teamwork to make a dream work. We're going to be back real quick with a woman that's on the other side. You see her in the stream over there, Amaya Bradley. We're going to talk about what we're getting ready to do here in the city of Saginaw. Stick, stay, don't go away. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
Here's what happened on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I was a Cub Scout shirt. I don't have a badge on my sash. I didn't go camp.
Stop biting your nails.
Huh?
Stop biting your nails.
The weakness you have with.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're back with more Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen, and I'm in the studio today. We're going to be making some changes. We got new theme music coming in from one of our new producers. We have an extended segment that's going to take place. We've been working with our content and brand manager, really the lady who makes everything happen on KissWTLZ.com, Kiss 107.1. My afternoon girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels. So we're just running things by. She's like, hey, she's greenlit us for what we're getting ready to do here on the show. And one of the young ladies that's there, one of the things that we want to do is that as we talk about the village, it's important for us to also make sure that we're including all of the elements of the village in those conversations. And so Amaya Bradley, who's sitting on the other side, she's been here before. She is the creator and the owner of a wonderful women's empowerment, young girls empowerment. She did a conference this year, Girl, You Make Things Happen, which was absolutely phenomenal. And what is the name of your business once again?
Grow in Confidence.
Grow in Confidence. And so you guys are going to see her coming in. We are adding her here. We're adding a sports segment to the show and another surprise component to what we're doing as we build this out. The idea is if we're going to engage, we want to make sure that everybody has a voice and a seat at the table. So share with us a little bit, Amaya, what you're going to talk about. And I just want to throw a teaser out there before we get into the heat of the conversation. I still got some hot things I need to talk about, some hot topics. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about these ICE raids, but I also want to address the political landscape that's getting ready to happen. We have 3 individuals that are going to be running for a state Senate position that is open when Congressman Rivet left to go down to D.C. We're going to talk about what we need to do about that as well. But we're going to talk first here a little bit with Amaya. We'll see some of the other people that will be a part of this new collective that will be formed. So it won't just be Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen, but there will be other people who are part of this conversation. Amaya, what's going on? Let me know what you're bringing to the table for this next segment.
Well, girl, you make things happen. That's what I'm all about. So growing in confidence and want to make sure we motivate one another, not just the women, but others as well, to let them know that in this time especially, like the people are struggling, people are going through it, and they might be lacking some confidence, but they need to know that with faith, all you need is a mustard seed.
Yes.
All you need is a mustard seed, and he's going to provide for you. You got to put your trust in God. And just with that little trust, that's building up your confidence right there.
So she's going to be bringing us each week a little bit of motivation. She's going to be empowering, and I said this, I was really impressed, Amaya, and burdened by the fact that oftentimes Black women tears go unheard. There's a whole book that's out there, and one of the chapters is talking about white women's tears. We've seen Black men hanging from trees from poplar trees like fruit because of white women's tears. We've seen so many things negative that have happened. You can't look at her, and when white men cry, the world stops and pays attention. But what has often happened is that when our Black women, our beautiful women who have been kissed by the sun, when they cry, nobody listens, no one pays attention. Oftentimes they are given that B term. They have an angry B mentality. You know what I'm talking about. And they are often overlooked. When we see what has taken place with this current administration, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna say it till we can't say it no more. I'm gonna say it till something changes. When you have 380,000 Black women who have lost their good paying jobs, and no one is outraged. It's like we went on to the next thing. Oh, wow. 380,000 Black women have lost 300,000 women have lost their jobs. If that had been women of a different color, I think that the government would have shut down in that moment. You all are Black women. Salute to you all, are the most educated sector in the United States of everybody that's here. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, and other. Black women rock. They are essentially, and by the numbers, the most educated group of folk in our nation. And I think that we have to protect them. There was a whole protect Black women thing, you know, with the Chris Rock. And why does it have to be us against us, right? Why can't we show that same kind of support for Black women all times? And so I think even now with what's happening, we need to lean in for those. And so they're going to need encouragement. So you're going to be providing encouragement, empowerment. What are some of the things that you hope to really kind of delve into, if you have an idea of what that's going to sound like to young women in particular?
Well, one thing I do want to talk about to young women in particular is the influence that social media has on who we are. Like how you were saying with the Black women and everything like that. Black women are portrayed to be an angry Black woman or ghetto in a sense and everything. However, we're not an angry Black woman. We're not ghetto. We are very educated. We are very educated and smart and everything, but we also have feelings as well.
I mean, if Black women were mad as HE double hockey stick, somebody should be able to understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to kind of suppress our feelings, and we can't really show our emotions how we will want to, because we don't want to be portrayed as that angry Black woman. So if I'm being talked to a certain way, I have to educate, like make sure I'm not doing it in a particular way. So I'm doing it in a more professional way, so I'm not perceived as a certain way.
Absolutely. Cheryl Walker said, we're passionate. We as Black people are passionate. We talk with our hands. We're passionate. Yeah. And, you know, people who are afraid of us, you know, they're afraid of us, right? You didn't know they were afraid. You know, it comes off, why are you so aggressive? Why are you so offensive? But the reality is we are people who are very expressive. And the thing about it, and I say this all the time, the world, including every generation and genre of folk, every race of folks, they love our music. They love our food. They love our culture. They love our dress, because we are trendsetters, but they don't like our color. They don't like us. They love our color, don't like us. And one thing that I've learned is that is a real struggle for many people to understand. And I'm not offended by it. I get it. Because we're hot like that, right?
Yeah, well, many people that don't like you is because they want to be you and they can't. So therefore, since you can't be me, you try to find ways to beat me. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's not gonna work like that, though.
You know, and it's interesting that we're saying this, and we're going to get to some other things that I think that are very important. But I wanted to make sure that you all got a teaser. Amaya's going to be dropping nuggets of inspiration for young girls and women alike. We also are going to bring in a new sports individual who's going to share some things about sports. And we got one other surprise dynamic that I think that you guys are going to absolutely love. It's going to crack you up, but it's going to be great as we build out this show to include other parts of the village. And what we're going to do, somebody said we often are forced to use our inside voice because they don't like the way we communicate with the things we say. They fear our potential. Now, and I want to say this because when we go to this next part, what you're going to see in operation as we really begin to look at what's taking place here today, I want to make sure that folks understand that we are moving toward a time in America. It is a recycled time in America. It is a Jim Crow-esque time in America after Black codes and things of that nature. A Jim Crow-esque time. And it's funny because I remember often saying, oh, if I was back in the day when they were doing that, I would have did this. And you know, we have no concept of really what the struggle was about, especially generations under my generation. And so we hear those things. We hear the story of MLK. We see the fight for equality. We see the fight for civil rights. We see the fight. And I'm going to say this because this is a problem for Black America all the way across, right? When we vote in, and this is why I want to end the show talking about the three individuals that are out there for our state Senate position. When we look at what we've done, and the Democrats nor Republicans, we don't have a place in either of these parties that really shows our real potential and what we really need to be able to do, that has their ear to the ground in our community to deal with the issues that really impact us. And I say how tone deaf many folks in the Democratic Party can be, because the first piece of legislation with John Lewis voting legislation out there with there was 2 different voting bills that were out there that needed to be taken up. And I said, we need to do it right away because there's going to come in a distractor. There's going to be something that is the most important thing that we got to deal with. And it didn't get done. But instead, the previous administration, which was a Democratic legislation, they came in and they've passed a Asian hate crime bill. Black folks have been fighting for justice and equality our entire time. There is no other race of people, not even Africans who come from other places. No other Black folks, no other people other than African American descendants of slave have the experience or have input and have such an important role to play in the development and the build out of this country. And we have been ostracized. We have been laughed at. We have been rebuked. We've been scorned. And we have been asking for equity. And we've been asking for legislation. Let there be a hate crime bill that really speaks to the issues of Black people. We saw that with Trayvon Martin. There was a push for it then, and it was overlooked. It was not taken into action. John Lewis, before he died, had this out there as a platform to run with. And so I said, let's take up the John Lewis bill. Let's secure our voting rights. They should not have to be voted to be reinstated every so often. We need to make this a real thing. And what happens? Joe Biden passes a hate crime bill. I'm not mad about it. The fact that the Asian Americans, I think, or Chinese or Asian, I'm not sure exactly, can't remember the moment, but that was the bill that was passed. And so I think that we have to begin to see that they're not taking us seriously either. So they use us as a voting block base, but they never take us seriously when it comes to putting candidates in that really impact our community. So with that, I'm going to take a transition and I'm going to talk about what's out there. It's what needs to be talked about in the village. I thank so many of you because you are continually saying, Pastor or Kareem, whatever it is that you call me, what are we doing? What is the village voting for? Who should we vote for in this next election? And this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you how I see what's going on. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to the voting blocks or the individuals that present themselves as candidates in our community, I have a real pet peeve. We do not see those engineers of politicians and leaders in our community the way that we used to. I talked about how Austin and the first mayor, I can't think of his name right now. Someone's going to think about it and get it to me. The first Black mayor of Saginaw. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyways, they used to have these Henry. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyways, it's going to come to me. I'm drawing a blank, but these individuals would have those conversations and the movement taking place in the village, and they would position and find out who those Henry Marsh. Thank you very much. It was slipping my mind. They would have and begin to position and to prepare the next set of leaders that would happen in our community. We don't have those voices or the respect for those voices the way that we used to. And the other thing that we now have a problem with, and I need to say this very clear. Thank you very much, Melissa Johnson Hayes, Henry Marsh. Sometimes you just get brain fog up here. But the other issue that we have in our community that is it's a very big problem is that we have a lack of awareness and a lack of respect for leadership. We no longer coalesce under individuals and say, hey, this is a leader that we see. This is someone that we support as a leader in our community, because we have moved into a time, social media, Google, and everything else has everybody feeling like they all can do it better than the leader can. And so where we used to have voices that we could say, hey, let's listen to this voice. They are saying this. This is where we are. We're losing that respect and the value that we place on the space and the offices of leaders in our community. And because of that, everyone thinks that they can do it. And the reality of it is everyone cannot be a leader. Leader is defined by tough times. Leader is a word or a position in our community that the community has to decide who those voices are that we're going to pay attention to. And we have to understand that when we have strong voices or individuals who show influence, and I'm not saying this, I'm a talker all day long, but that does not mean that I am a leader. I'm a leader in my own right, and I'm not fighting for that position, but I'm just saying for individuals who come in, we have to be able to coalesce and get behind them, but we have a mentality that I can do it just as good as they can do it. And it really dilutes what we do as a community. Now, let's talk about what's at stake coming up. We have a position that is now open, and it's been open for a period of time, where we have a state Senate race that's getting ready to take place. And what always happens is that the community has a thought of who should be there. Then we have what white America thinks should be our leader, which is one of my big pet peeves, because no one should determine who our leaders are except our community. And then we have other folks out there who say, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to position myself to do it. I can do it. No, I'm just as good as anybody else. We're going to talk about that dynamic. I'm talking about the three individuals that are out there. I think, let me make sure I get these names right, because I will butcher your name. We're talking about Brendel Adams, Shedrick Green, and Dr. Pamela Pugh. We're going to get into this right after this next commercial break. Stay, don't go away. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
Are you ready to knock out your clunker? Ryan Wasik here from Bell Wasik GMC Buick, your local Buick dealer. This month, I'm throwing haymakers.
our last segment here. We certainly want to get into the conversation. So before the break, I shared with you all that we would be talking about this Senate seat that's going to be open. I'm going to be talking. Amaya, have you been paying attention to what's going on with that seat at all?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I've been looking at other things. All my focus really, I'm not going to lie, my focus really been on this SNAP stuff going on because the community really needs help with all of that.
Okay, so there is a Senate seat that is available that's going to be up and running. And I have talked to, I've had camps reach out to me. I'll say it that way. Okay. And I haven't spoken to everyone. I have spoken to two of them. And so we have Brindle Adams, Shedrick Green, and Dr. Pamela Pugh that are all running for this next position that's going to be open. That's open from Kristen McDonald-Rivet, our congresswoman down in there, fighting for us in D.C. Have you thought about who you are thinking about supporting in this particular time? Listen, you don't have to share it, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine. I'm transparent anyways. I'm straight to the point. So
one of the things I like about
you. Yeah. So I'm actually voting for Dr. Pamela Pugh.
Okay. And why Dr. Pugh?
Because I love how she advocates for us and for others as well. And I believe that she's very strong suit and something that we need down in that spot right now, because right now we need somebody that's a strong hitter that really is ready to advocate for one another. Okay,
so I appreciate you sharing that. And what I'm going to say may not be liked by a number of people. I've heard some of the things that have been put out there, some of the conversations and that are happening in silos. But I want to say, first of all of these individuals that are running, personally, I like them. I like all of them. I really enjoy them all. As a matter of fact, I'll say this. I like them all. I don't have any issues with any of them. I don't have beefs with nobody. Honestly, I just want to get along with everybody. But when I look at this and I look at the individuals that are there, I did not know who Cedric Green was. And I had been hearing his name, and it was interesting because I had his phone number in my phone when he gave it to me. We were talking, he gave it to me. I'd already had it in my phone. So there was an initial conversation. I think it was centered around the juvenile courts or the work that he's doing with, I think, one of our county individuals, Michael Webster, I think it was. Okay. And so, but his phone was in my, so I didn't know who he was. But when I heard his story, I was impacted so positively. I thought it was a powerful story. When I listened to the story of his service to our country, it is like a story made for TV story. It is, I think about the legacy of individuals like John McCain, who served their country and then came back, and he's been working as a firefighter and doing all of those things. And now he has a desire to serve our country. And when I heard it, I was like, wow, I'm very impacted. This is a moving story. It's very compelling. And my heart, honestly, I was moving in a direction. It's like, I really think that he could be good. He is new meat. He's a fresh blood, I should say.
Right.
And then as I just continued to watch, I had a thought, like in this season, and it wasn't really about him. It was more so about what I see taking place in this season, this political season. And I see that there is a need for someone who is going to be strong, who's going to be very sure of where they are and where they stand. I think that they have to be someone who is a fighter, someone who understands village issues, people who understand exactly what's going on a grassroots level in our community. I often share one of the taglines is that we give it to you straight, no chaser, no filter. I'm not about to give you a filter now. This has to be a person who understands what happens from Main Street or from Wall Street to Main Street and understand those bread and butter issues that are going to impact our community. And so when I thought about this, I love Cedric, excuse me, I want to make sure I get his name right. But I don't think that in this moment, he's a very well-rounded individual, great guy, absolutely great. And I hope that he's not offended that we are off-put in terms of our relationship. But I have to say, I don't think that he has what we need in this moment to really be able to fight for the things that we need. I love them. And I'm going to say this about the Democratic Party across the board. Can we not have mutiny this go around? We always come in and we have 3-4 people who all want the same job. And the Republicans or whomever's else out there, the incumbents, they count on that happening so that they don't have to run with this. And what we do is we weaken that individual on this side of the ticket. And we create mutiny. We cut off our wrists, we bite our heads off, and we cut off our nose to spite our face. And so we need to make sure that this is going to be a very short time. We need to move really quickly. We need to coalesce around an individual. And I love him, but I don't think that he has what I'm looking for. And he is supported by individuals that I absolutely respect, have the greatest amount of respect. And we've been on the same side when it comes to candidates that are a part of the Democratic base. I'm just not there this time. And I'll be very vocal about that. And then the other individual was Brendel Adams. Now, Brendel is doing something that I wish they all would pay attention to. Brendel has said, listen, I ran before, I didn't get it. He called me one time and said, I'm Pastor Bowen, I really want your support. He hasn't done that for this particular cycle, but he did that. And I appreciated that. But what he did as well is he said, you know what? I've got to get the political backing of the political machine. So he got involved with the Democratic Party. He did the work. He's gotten in there. He's now the president of that office here in Saginaw. So he's got the support of the party. However, and I think he's going to be good eventually because I really like him. I just don't think that this is his season. And I think that even though he has the backing of the party, he's got some people that are going to push him. He's doing it. And I love the way he's operating. He understands how to do it. And I wish other folks would understand that because this is key. You cannot blow up every spot, then come back and ask for a vote again. Now, I'm going to say this. When she is now Congresswoman Rivet, was running for the state Senate, Dr. Pamela Pugh was running against her. I thought the best person for the job was Congresswoman Rivet. I voted for her to the chagrin of many people in the community, but I don't listen and people don't tell me what to do. I do what I believe is best for our community. And I think that everyone should have that same type of mentality, what is best for our community. However, in this season, with us seeing a dissolution and a degradation of policies and people who are willing to stand up and speak truth to power, looking at we're fighting almost some of the same issues in 2025 that we were fighting in 1965 is problematic. So we need someone who understands the landscape of politics, who is a fighter. And in this particular season, I think that Dr. Pamela Pugh is the one that I think is going to be best and most appropriate for this fight. Now, have that being said, I did not vote for her last time. And, it took her some time because we're friends and you expect friends to show up. We got to a place, we had a conversation and I told her I'm always going to support her, even when I don't vote for her. But I think that she is the one that this community needs. She understands the issues that are here. She knows how to fight. Now, she ticks people off because whenever you talk and you speak the truth or you say what you got to say, you can tick people off. Now, what I would love, Dr. Pugh, I support this particular run and what you're doing. But I'm going to say something. Brendel Adams has done something very well. Brendel Adams has done something that I wish that we would take a look at, you and your campaign. He has learned how to get into places and spaces to collectively build support for what he is doing. One of the things that I hope that as you move forward, that you continue to speak truth to power. That's what I love about you. But understand as well that we sometimes don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think that we need to have a voice that is tested, that is sound, that understands. You're not afraid of political attacks. You've done with those before. I've heard one in the making coming up, but that's where we are. So Village, this time, I think we need to be a little bit selfish about who we put in office, what they represent, and the fact that they know what it is that's most important in our community. And so that is why I said what I said. And I feel like Nene Neeks right now. I said what I said. So I appreciate all of those other voices, those individuals who said, Pastor K, we want you to do this. We think that you need to look at this individual. That is where I feel that we are. And my heart is for the Village. My heart is for our community. My heart is for folks who are going to fight tooth and nail for the things that are going to be important and impactful in our community. It's about this community, Saginaw, our surrounding areas, Bay City, Midland, whatever those areas are. That is what's most important to me. And when it comes to that kind of fight, we're taking the gloves off. I think that she is the voice that we need to really fight, because we're in a season that we're having to fight for all of the rights that we once fought for before. She understands that historically, and I think that she is connected in the way that she has the ability to make great things happen. So I hope all of you are blessed out there. Don't get mad at me. This is how I feel. And I'm going to be led by my conviction and my heart every single day of the week. So I pray that you all take care of yourselves and one another. God bless you all. Grace and peace.
Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Straight Talk with